Oh, good, I don't have to mess with this. Perfect height, Charles. So having always been in the hospitality and food industry, and now that I say that, that is really crazy because being an Italian, you are more or less born in the food industry. It came as no surprise to my family or close friends when we decided to open a cafe 10 years ago downtown Battle Creek. What did come as a surprise, though, was how that cafe would change not only our lives, but the lives of many people in our community. We opened those doors, and we had judges, attorneys, construction people, bankers, teachers, students, moms, dads, people from all walks of life coming through that door, including those less fortunate and those that might have just been down on their luck. But nevertheless, every person that walked through that door was greeted the same way, with a smile. No one was going to be hungry. We always had a little food hanging around, being a good Italian cafe. If it was cold outside, you were welcome to come in, have a nice hot cup of coffee, and just hang out for some good conversation. One morning, a young man came in with his attaché case, and I thought, I've never seen him before. So, wanting to get to know all of our customers, as I'm pouring him his coffee, I'm asking him what his employment status is and what he does, and he continues to tell me that he is a contractor, and he builds bridges. And I thought, wow, never met anybody that built a bridge before. This could be a very interesting man. So he starts telling me that they're working out of Grand Rapids, and I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, we are in the process right now of building a bridge from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Took me a minute, I was like visually trying to do this, and I thought, okay. I kind of stepped back and I went, yeah, this is definitely going to be one of our Barista Blues family special customers. So I chuckled a little. I let him continue on with his story. And that was Brian. He became a very regular with us. About 6 months into our venture at the cafe, a young woman walked in. Comes up to the counter. I'm making her hazelnut cappuccino for her in the morning. She looks around and she goes to me, are you not at all concerned about your business? Aren't you concerned at all? And I must have had a puzzled look on my face because she just looked at me and she goes, well, look, you've got all those people in here. Are you not afraid that that could discourage some of your more influential community members from coming into your cafe? I really didn't know what to say. I was really taken back by this, and I looked at her. I did not reply, finished making her cappuccino, and she went on her way. And of course, I'm not going to lie, I did think for a minute. I'm like, this is our business. It is a business. It's my livelihood. I went home, and I called my mom. She might have been, and she still is, 675 miles away, but my mom is always on the other end of that phone line when I need her. Mom, and I tell her what my dilemma is. And her response to me is, Mary, and she is still the only person that is allowed to call me Mary. She goes, you do what is right in your heart. She goes, you know the way you were brought up. There was always an extra setting at our table. There was always food there. There was always people coming and going. She said, you need to follow how you were brought up. And this is coming from a woman who could take a pound of pasta and feed 25 people with it. We don't know how, but she always could and she still can. So she said, do not, under any circumstances, let anybody run your kitchen or run your house. That was the end of the conversation. We never spoke about it again. Went into the cafe the next day, began greeting more of our customers, sharing family stories with them, learning about their families, and just doing what we were doing naturally, getting to know everybody. And then the most amazing thing happened. I sat and watched our community bond. I sat and watched in our little cafe, I watched the banker come in and say, "Good morning, Dave, how are you today?" I saw Clifford's face light up because somebody recognized him and said, "Hey, it's a little chilly outside today, isn't it, Clifford?" Or Ruby, "How are you? What's the weather like?" Lee, "How are you doing? Is that coat warm enough for you?" Or talking sports with our special customers. I witnessed this, and it was the most touching thing I think I have ever witnessed in my life. And then there's Deb, who is a customer coming in to grab some lunch, and she's up at the counter placing her order, and bam, Bill comes sliding across the floor on his knees, looking at her shoes and going, "My, those are the most beautiful red shoes I've seen in my life." And Deb's response, she looks down and she goes, "Well, thank you, I like them too." You know, the stigma was broken right there. And Lord knows, if you need to know by any chance, if you're doing the crossword puzzle at the cafe and you want to know who the great goddess of Jupiter is, just ask Dave, because he's like a walking encyclopedia. And there it went from us just getting to know everybody to the community actually reacting like this, interacting with everybody. And that is how our Fairy Fund came about. People saw what we were doing as a family, and next thing I knew, here, next time Joe was in, make sure you buy him a cup of coffee, or hey, here, put this toward the breakfasts that you and your family are always. And then we were doing annual dinners that were not only just for the needy, everybody was welcome, because I will tell you, a little conversation and recognition and a smile goes a long, long way. And although it might have been something that I think we did from our heart, I'm thinking a lot of the community just needed a little outlet, and we happened to have the spot. So I will leave you with some words that my parents had shared with my family, and I still share with mine, and it's something we wholeheartedly believe in. You take care of your family first, and your neighbors, and your community. And if everybody did that, this world would be a much better place. And most importantly, remember, this is your family.